people like Jasmine Crockett and I, we just don't see this country and we just don't see the world the same way. And again, I'm somebody that has fought in combat for this country. I'm somebody that believes in America First agenda because I believe in just that, putting America first. And the contrast that you will see on a debate stage with somebody who is constantly clamoring about being the victim and how black folks can't have this because of systemic racism and this and that. The contrast of somebody like that and the contrast of someone like me, who was the great great grandson of a slave. My great great grandfather was born on a plantation, and I have the honor of representing a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 20 points. And I just won by 27 points because I'm literally being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. And to talk about the progress of this great nation and how I get to sit before you every single day and not be concerned about the color of my skin. I am more concerned about being a husband and a father and a veteran and a West Point graduate and an educated man and someone that has served this great nation. And yes, I always tell people I'm black and I am very proud, but I'm an American and I am prouder. And I can assure you that the contrast with a debate like that between Wesley Hunt and Jasmine Crockett is going to be must-see TV, and I welcome it.
We hear little birdies tell us that you may be getting, this race for Senate might get very spicy with Jasmine Crockett jumping into the race. She has some big announcement that she's going to make. One, can you confirm, is that going to happen? And then two, are you ready to debate Jasmine Crockett for the future of Texas?
Yes, when you take a look at this, it is official. SCOTUS just upheld Texas gerrymandering congressional map, and Representative Jasmine Crockett is being voted out of her own district. This isn't redistricting. This is political eviction. Republicans could beat her at the ballot box, so they rewrote the map to erase her. Texas democracy is on life support. This is someone that is going crazy about this decision. The Supreme Court put this is something we knew that it will obviously turn out to this, but some liberals were not believing that it will be reality. They thought the Supreme Court will side with them. And someone said, if Supreme Court can allow this, meaning what happened in California was a whole. Now Wesley is challenging Jasmine Crockett for a debate. I saw that video. I was like, this is it. Though liberals are melting down everywhere on social media.
Texas tried to redraw its congressional map to squeeze out up to 5 extra Republican seats. As of maybe an hour ago, a federal 3-judge panel just said absolutely not. 2 judges ruled there is substantial evidence that Texas racially gerrymandered its 2025 map. One of those judges was even a Trump appointee. That's how blatant this was. The court ordered Texas to go back to the 2021 map for the 2026 elections while the lawsuit continues. Civil rights groups argued the legislator intentionally diluted Black and Hispanic voting power, and based on this ruling, the judges seem to agree.
A few moments later.
Tonight, just in the past few minutes, the U.S. Supreme Court will now allow Texas to use a congressional map favorable to Republicans in 2026. This is a big deal for the electoral map come the midterms. The justices granted a request by Texas officials to lift a lower court's ruling that had blocked the state from using the Trump-backed map. The new configuration could flip as many as 5 currently Democratic-held U.S. House seats to Republicans. A final decision from the Supreme Court is expected later.
So big bad news out of the Supreme Court. Yeah, it's not good. They have just upheld the Texas redistricting map 6-3, and the way that Texas pulled this off should terrify anyone who cares about voting rights.
Well, the Supreme Court just ruled that Texas can use their racially gerrymandered maps, and they're lying in our faces about the reason they're letting them do it. Let's get into it. This is the most corrupt court in the history of the United States, and it's not even close. Supreme Court on Thursday, as you can see here, allowed Texas to use their congressional map. That will boost Trump. and let them get, another 4 or 5 seats. The amazing thing is they're lying about the reason that they're overturning it. And as you can see at the bottom, the court issued a brief, unsigned opinion. They won't even sign the opinion that they're releasing.
Green light from the Supreme Court to use its gerrymandered congressional map for 2026. And let's be clear, this isn't a neutral decision. This is a 6-3 conservative-led ruling that directly overturns a factual finding from a federal court that said point blank, Texas likely racially gerrymandered Black and Latino voters. The conservative majority pushed it through anyway.
But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end. I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. Well, the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people. If you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror. Because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who Summer Ice have been rounding up. Listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors.
I understand Democrats are going crazy about this decision. I knew that this would turn out to be like this. They are crying everywhere. They are mad. Like, this is a big win for Trump going into the midterms. Some say it has actually changed everything. Then I have a question. What happened to what Governor Newsom did in California? Will it hold? What is the end result of it? Because I've seen Democrats, attributing this to their that, calling in names, racism, this. That is what I see with them when it pertains to what happened in Texas. Now, look at the meltdown. Jasmine Crockett is gone. That is not even something we should be talking about. She has been put out.
Democrats are all abuzz today. The Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett may run for the United States Senate over the weekend. She said that she's actually closer to a yes than a no, so she gave us a hint. Ion Politics reporter Jack Fink in the newsroom today. Her decision, though, when we look at the calendar, is coming down to the wire.
Well, it is, Doug, because the filing deadline is 1 week from today. So that means the Congresswoman will have to make her announcement or at least file her campaign paperwork about what she's going to do before next Monday at 6 p.m.
This isn't about me. None of this should be about any individual.
That was Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett nearly 2 weeks ago about the potential for her to enter the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate and join former Congressman Colin Allred of Dallas and State Representative James Tallarico of Austin. Crockett came in first during a hypothetical Democratic primary poll at the beginning of October by the University of Houston and Texas Southern University. She told me she was waiting for her own polling results to return and was looking beyond the primary and focused on the general election against the Republicans, either incumbent John Cornyn, Attorney General Ken Paxton, or Congressman Wesley Hunt of Houston.
Obviously, I would run and run hard, but the trends are clear as it relates to a primary. I am most concerned about who is best suited in the general election and not running a general election and saying, oh, we're going to get all these Republicans to cross over. I don't believe in this mythical crossover. I think that's the only way that we win in Texas is if we have a candidate that can add to the electorate.
SMU political science professor Matthew Wilson says Crockett would be a force for Allred and Tallarico to reckon with in the primary, but not an automatic winner.
If I were her, I'd take it for granted that she would win the Democratic primary. I mean, certainly she's going to be a viable contender, but there are other viable contenders who have already thrown their hats in the ring.
As for the general election, Wilson says Crockett may believe the only way she can win is by attracting new people to the polls and expanding the electorate, but that the other Democratic Senate candidates may believe they can win by attracting Republicans.
The simple truth is that any person Jasmine is running against, or the person will beat Jasmine, she is too radical. That is just my simple analysis from my observations all through. Jasmine is too radical. She can't win any of these people, no matter how she tries. Wesley challenged her for a debate. I actually like to witness this. This is actually a tough person that can put Jasmine in her place. if this happened, a lot of people will be interested because this lady, she has been ranting on social media now for a while. The day she realized this is what social media is, she has been doing everything to stay relevant. And I believe this will be a big opportunity for her. I don't know if she will still go to that length of calling Trump name this, forgetting that she's not running against Trump. I'm going to end here. As of the short clips you see at the end of my videos, that is for the white algorithm. You can always skip. God bless you abundantly.
Each time. Exactly sure which organs were scanned. He knew which one wasn't. He beat Hillary by 41 points. Right.
And this ain't got nothing to do with color. This ain't got nothing to do with color. It's either God's side or Satan's side.
He even get an off.
If the Democrat
Because how many times do somebody asks?
4.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
Give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah.
President Obama.
He's blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC. I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Right. Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before. Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one. Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all like to have a television show.
To spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not the...
Said that he doesn't...
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
I mentioned last night Trump was bragging about surprised to see Darth Renner.
Between now...
60 minutes for editing.
Now we got boys really...
I just want to be clear. If this is the